Alrighty, what's up everybody? Peter fucking Joseph here for video number 2. On your 2 for Wednesday, March the 20th, 2024. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to this very channel and my other channels down below in the description box below. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media if you dare. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to hit that bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next video. Because if you do, as we all know, you're SOL. And you know what that means. Ha! And that's pretty much it for that. So, excuse me. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment if you wish. You don't have to, but if you want to, go ahead. But if you're going to leave stupid comments, then you're getting blocked, and that's pretty much it. You don't like it? That's too goddamn bad. And we move on with that. And if you're new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And thank you for your support. And for anybody that wants to sub, please hit that like button. If you like what you see, hit that like button. And if not, you can get out of here. And that's pretty much it. But, like I said, if you like it, great. Hit that bell to get more. Subscribe to this channel and my other channels. All the links down below in the gobbledygook. Share the video all over the internet. And don't forget to subscribe and all that other good shit I mentioned before. Thank you so much for that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this late Wednesday night, and you know what that means, March the 20th, 2024, or if you're watching from somewhere else, it is March the 21st, 2024, as we are finishing up pretty much the first week of spring, about to hit the 3rd day of spring. We are 4 days away from Palm Sunday. Actually, 3 days. Actually, as of this video, I should say 3 days away from Palm Sunday, and we're a week away from the glorious Easter holiday. Should be a great Easter for my Jewish fans out there. Passover is coming up pretty soon. And WrestleMania is, only 2 weeks away. So we got that. Baseball will be starting 6 days from now on Wednesday. And officially for the Mets and Yankees next week. And that's pretty much it. So the boys of summer are coming back. So when baseball begins, you know that summer is around the corner. NFL draft coming up. Hockey and basketball playoffs coming up in about a month from now. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming up this spring and the summer. And I'll be with you all the way with all the wrestling action, the pay-per-views and all that. All the TV shows and all that good stuff, news here and there. And we got all that. So stay with me. And if, like I said, if you're new to the channel, or if you're new to YouTube, or just new to my channel, it's the channels itself, and you like what you see, please hit that bell. Please like the video and subscribe. And thank you for your support. Alrighty, so on this late Wednesday night, it is time, for the first time ever on this channel, since Rampage was on tonight in the 3rd hour of Dynamite, and I usually do Rampage with my SmackDown review over on my main channel, Killer Demon 669, but since Rampage was on tonight, for the first time ever, and there may be another one coming sometime soon, I don't know when, but for right now, it is time for your late night, or late, I guess you could say late night, whenever, but it is time for your late night AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage reviews for March the 20th, 2024. And we are emanating from the Coca-Cola Coliseum. There's probably a lot of Coke that was being consumed tonight in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So still north of the border. And we got that. So like I said, Dynamite and Rampage live. So 3 hours of AEW wrestling tonight. Nothing on Friday. No Collision on Saturday, thanks to the NCAA tournament. Next week, well, check your local listings because I don't know what's going to happen with Rampage and Collision, but they did announce that Collision will be next Saturday night. I think at its normal start time of 8 p.m. on that great station of TNT. And Rampage should be back to its normal time of 10 p.m. on TNT, but check your local listings before DVRing it. Well, if you're going to watch it from home, or you're going to be out next weekend because it's Easter weekend, then DVR it. Whatever you want to do, my friends. Whatever you want to do. And that's pretty much it. Alright. So our commentary team every Wednesday night, the men behind the mask, Excalibur, the greatest Met fan I know. Well, there's a lot of Met fans I know that are great, but one of them is the man from Red Hook Brother, Taz Brother. And the man himself, the man who should be in the goddamn Hall of Fame, because he is a great play-by-play commentator, and that man is Tony Baloney Schiavone. My good friend, not yours. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so this was a stacked show. The main event, I Quit match, Edge Christian 3 for the TNT title. Yeah, I was ready for that. It's gonna be barbaric. Who knows what's gonna happen if Edge brings out Spike? You know, what's gonna happen with that? We had Eddie Kingston defending the AEW Continental Classic Championship against Kata, the Lean Maker. We had that. We had a couple matches in the Tag Team Title Tournament. We had the lovely ladies at of AEW. And all in all, pretty damn good show. The first 30 minutes were good. Then it kind of started going downhill. And then pretty much the main event kind of saved it from basically being shit. Even though the ending was kind of a clusterfuck, but what are you going to do? Alright, so let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time. Because I got things to do tomorrow. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to get into specifics. I can't just get the word out of my mouth. But that's what she said. That's that. Alright. Alright, so we start off with the pyro, the opening sequence. And pyro's out. We are live for Dynamite. And we start off like we did last week with the CEO of AEW, and that is the beautiful, the vivacious Mercedes Moné. The former boss, who's now upgraded to the CEO of AEW. Alright, so Tony Baloney introduces her. He gets out of the way. Yeah, get out of the ring, Tony. Women are talking. So anyway, so Mercedes says, "I am so glad to be here in Toronto." She pop. And last week was so amazing because it was in the hometown of Boston. And this is what I want to do, but my dream was almost taken away from me 10 months ago when she suffered that horrific ankle injury at Battle of the Valley when she was supposed to get the New Japan Strong Women's Championship in a match with Willow Nightingale. So we see a beautiful video package of things she has done in and out of the ring, mostly from New Japan, and a little bit of Stardom. That was pretty damn nice. Before Mercedes talks about how she isn't here to lead a revolution, or evolution, because she has done that before. Instead she says, I am here to lead a global revolution. Foreshadowing, maybe? I think so. We might be seeing the women of Stardom. I think so, because if Mina Shirakawa is debuting in Ring of Honor tomorrow, I'm happy for that. I can't wait for that match. And, you know, maybe, just maybe, if Mina signs with AEW or signs with Ring of Honor, we could see a possible Club Venus reunion with Mariah and Mina. I don't know if they're going to get the third person that was in that group, but we'll see what happens with that. But I would love to have a Club Venus tag team with Mariah May and Mina. But see how that goes. And, well, maybe get Miyu Yamashita and a lot of people from Stardom. But the one person we won't get is Julia, which sucks. Because she's going to WWE. Probably by Mania, we'll probably see her. Maybe May, who knows. They're probably going to fuck her up. I have a feeling. I just do. Should have went to Tony. Should have went to AEW where the grass is greener. But it is what it is. Alright, so she says that. Then she says, I want to face some people. She says to wrap it up. Says anybody wants to mess with me, they're going to hit bankrupt. Or something like that. And then the lights go out. And it only can mean one thing. Sabu! No, not Sabu. It's Julia Hart, Miss Maria Brink 2.0, and her bestie, Sky Blue. Julia's outside the ring, right on that long-ass freaking entranceway. It's like WrestleMania. And then, Sky Blue is behind her. She tries to come in. Mercedes fights her off. Julia tries to come in and goes for that kick. Mercedes grabs her leg again. And then she tries to hit bankrupt on Julia like she did last week. But Sky Blue comes back and knocks her down. So 2-on-1 beatdown. And then Willow Nightingale, the resident fun girl, and Chris Statlander, who are going to be taking on, I think they're taking them on in a street fight later on Rampage. They run out with chairs for the save. So Julia and Sky Blue leave as the lights go dark again. They come back on. We see Willow, because she didn't know what was going to happen. She holds the chair, and Mercedes, she looked back, and she's like, oh, really, bitch? So, they have a little standoff. So, we'll see what happens with that. So, all that, I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. So, off and running, actually, I take that back, 3.25 out of 5 stars for that segment with Mercedes, Sky Blue, Julia Hart, Statlander, and Willow Nightingale. I liked the video package. I thought it was great. The promo, not as great as last week. But it is what it is. And that's that. Let me move on. Alright, then we go to Alex Marvez in the back. And he's interviewing, like he did last week, the corporate bucks. Nicholas and Matthew Jackson. Nicholas, you gotta stop wearing that fedora, man. You're trying to be like me. Stop it. I have my fedora. I don't know where it went, but I do have it somewhere in the house. But maybe if I find it, maybe I'll wear it. I'll look stupid, but I don't give a shit. But anyway, alright, so the corporate Bucks and Okada talk to Marvez. The Bucks mock Alex Marvez for not speaking Japanese to Mr. Okada. And basically, they tell Okada they're not going to be at ringside for the Continental title match. They're going to be on the headsets with Tony Khan producing the match. That's going to be funny. And then, pretty much Okada talks in Japanese. And, tells Eddie, basically, I'm coming for you, I'm coming to win the belt. Do we have sushi? No, he didn't say that. But we get all that. Alright, so that was a pretty quick promo from the New Elite. And I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And that's it. Alright, so after a hot start for the first segment, and then the Bucks promo, we get to our first official match of the night for the Continental title. We have Okada taking on the madman himself, Eddie Kingston, the Triple Crown champion, defending one of his belts, and that is the Continental Championship. So this match was pretty good. Starts off slowly, they take their time, pacing each other. Then they finally lock up. Eddie hits a big-time chop to Okada. Then he knocks Okada out to the floor, and then kind of chases him around. Okada jumps him on the way back in, and then starts working on that arm. Eddie and puts Eddie down, and then we see the corporate Bucks sitting next to Mr. Tony Khan, man, producing the show. That's something interesting. Then Okada throws Eddie off the ropes, hits that beautiful drop kick, and yes, they did the Okada pullback. Puts Eddie down, so we go to break, we come back, Eddie hits a suplex, then grabs a STO to catch his breath, both men are down. Eddie then strikes away, hits another suplex, but gets caught with that same patented drop kick to put him out again. Okada goes for the elbow and missed, and Eddie hits that wicked spinning back fist. I thought it was over, but Okada kicked out at 2. To get back up, Eddie has to block the discus lariat before knocking Okada down. Then a running clothesline scores for Eddie, whose half-and-half suplex gets broken up with a rake to the eyes. But Eddie comes back with an enziguri and tries for another spinning back fist. It missed. Okada hits a power slam, picks up Eddie, hits the Rainmaker, goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, we have a new AEW Continental Champion, and he's only been in the company for 2 weeks, and that is Mr. Kazuchika Okada. Match time under 16 minutes, but gave the match 3.25 out of 5 stars. So Okada is the new Triple Crown champion, and I think Eddie Kingston being the Triple Crown champion is going to be coming to an end, because at Supercard of Honor, he's going to lose the Ring of Honor World title to Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe's going to finally achieve his dream of becoming a champion in a world champion in Ring of Honor. He's going to get the belt. He's going to have a lot of crying because of the great man that you are, Jay Briscoe. Reach for the sky, boy. And that's pretty much it. So it's going to be a really heart-warming, heart-wrenching moment when, hopefully, Mark Briscoe, if the House of Black can stay out of the way, Mark Briscoe will become your new Ring of Honor World Champion, and Eddie will probably just have the New Japan Strong Openweight title that I don't know who's going to lose that to. But we move on with that. Speaking of New Japan, the New Japan Cup is over, and Yota Tsuji won the New Japan Cup as he beat Goto, who never can win a big freaking tournament in his life. Guy has been in New Japan since I've been watching New Japan. For like the last 10, 15 years. Guy cannot win a big match to save his life. I don't care about the freaking tag league. But when it comes to like the New Japan Cup, Wrestle Kingdom, or even the G1, he cannot win it. It's sad for a guy that's a pretty good wrestler and a champion in his own right, but different. Never been world champion, never been Intercontinental champion when the Intercontinental champion was there. Always had his a couple of never openweight title reigns, tag team title reign here and there, but Goto, I think, should retire. I'm just saying. I know I'm not saying anything bad about the guy, but I think, he should just retire because he cannot win the big one. So Yota Tsuji will be taking on Naito for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship of the World. I thought Naito lost it. So I thought I saw Sonata win it back, and then Naito, I guess, got it back again. I don't know what happened with that. But. So I might be wrong. Maybe Naito was, I know he won it at Wrestle Kingdom, and, I don't know. But anyway. So we're going to see that at, I think, Sakura Genesis, or whatever the next show is for New Japan. So, we got that. But, getting back to the States and AEW, Okada wins the AEW Continental Classic, and like I said, I gave the match 3.25 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. So right now, the New Elite have one belt, and if the Bucks go on to win the Tag Team Tournament, which is likely, then the New Elite will have pretty much a lot of gold on their hands. And they could go for the Trios titles too, but we'll see what happens later. We'll move on. After the match, Pac, that bastard, comes out, have an epic stare down, and looks like we're gonna see that match at Dynasty, or Dynasty if you're from Australia. So that should be a great match. It's gonna slap pretty hard. I think it's gonna be a great match. And the promos, I can't wait for the promos next week, but we'll see what happens with that. Alright, after that, we go to the back, where we have Renee Paquette, and her special guest, Swerve. Time to dance, my friends. Time to dance. It's not Daniel Garcia, but it's the other dance. So Swerve and my good friend, the real Prince of the Prophecy and the Purge, Prince Nana of the Embassy, the Mogul Embassy. So they're there. So Swerve suggests that Samoa Joe, the AEW World Champion, is scared of him because of the big chain he has around his shoulders. And he says, "We're in Toronto, my hometown," which I don't get, but I think I thought he was from Seattle. So he wants to fight someone, so an open challenge is made. And boy, was it a really dumb challenge. The guy that came out. But we'll get to that later. And, well, I don't have my Book of Doom, but we'll find something. But the stupidity starts right after that. And we move on. Alright, so I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go to the back where we see Widow Nightingale and Chris Statlander along with the resident pimp, Stokely Hathaway. They're all ready for their street fight with Julia Hart and Sky Blue on Rampage. So they're talking, and then we see Mercedes Moné interrupt, and Chris Statlander goes right up to her, and they stare down. I'm like, ooh, that could be a great match. So Mercedes tells Chris Statlander, I got you guys back tonight. So Statlander's like, oh, thank you. And then she walks off. And then Willow goes right up to her and looks to say something, but Moné's like, you've done enough. And Stokely's like, this is great. You know, pretty much having a hard on right in front of them. And Stokely did bring up Nightingale breaking Monet's leg, and Statlander isn't pleased with that. So I don't know if they're gonna turn Willow heel to go after Mercedes. I'd rather see Statlander turn on Willow, but as I've been saying, looking like they were about to do that for the last month or so. But we'll see what happens with that. Maybe she won't be a fun girl anymore. Maybe she'll just be a bitch. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so I get a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then back to the ring we go for our next match. We have Chris Jericho, the champion, the wizard, who, well, he hasn't been using Judas anymore. I don't know why he doesn't use it anymore, because he's been using his ECW Lionheart theme. I want to sing along with Judas. That makes me sad. Peter is sad panda. Anyway. So non-title match with Send for the Ban. Hook! Stop eating those goddamn Doritos. It is late at night. Get in here anyway. Here he is. Hook, ladies and gentlemen, with that. Goddamn, when are you gonna go get a haircut? Hippie? Maybe, you know, maybe you should get a haircut like your dad. Brother. Anyway. Yeah, so Chris Jericho and the Hook, which was made last week on Collision. So, non-title match, not for the FTW title. Not that it will ever be defended anyway. Worthless piece of tin. Anyway, so it's also with, basically, Hook suplexing him down right at the bell, and then the referee has to check on Jericho to see if his brain is, his brain is still there in his head. And then Jericho does come back, fires off some chops, a reverse T-bone suplex by Hook, drops Jericho for a near fall. Pretty much one-sided because, Jericho basically got taken to Suplex City and wasn't even run by Brock Lesnar. So Jericho cuts Hook off with a shot to the head, and then a whole ton of German suplexes. Like I said, we're going to Suplex City. Drops Jericho, so we go to break, come back. Jericho's still being taken to Suplex City, and Hook's just strolling around the ring like, this old fart. Look at me, I'm running laps around this guy. When Jericho finally comes back, reverses a suplex, hits some shoulders, but Hook suplexes him down again. Then he goes for a big boot and kind of hit Jericho. I think it might have been a tiny botch. After Jericho hits that, then he scores with the lion salt for a delayed near fall. To get back up, Jericho tries a suplex, when instead kind of just drops Hook on his face. That might have been a botch. So anyway, they go up top. Hook grabs the red rope, the Kata Hajime, pulls Jericho down in the middle of the ring. Jericho somehow slips out of that, throws some really slow punch, like slow motion. I'm like, God damn it, Jericho, stop eating those hamburgers, you fat fuck. What is wrong with you, dude? I mean, he's not the same Jericho I've seen in the last 5 years on AEW. He was fast, he had the energy, he felt like the Jericho of old. Now, he's 50-some-odd years old, and he's slow as fuck. I think it's time, maybe that time, Jericho, you still kind of got it in some matches, but still, you're losing a lot, so. But anyway, Jericho throws the slow punches, and then Hook just reverses into a cradle pin, 1, 2, 3, in under 11 minutes. Hook with a kind of surprising win over Jericho, and I gave the match 2.5 out of 5 stars. After the match, they shake hands, a little bit code of honor, which is always nice, and we get that. But that's not the last we heard from Jericho, as we'll see him in just a second. Alright, then after that, we go to my favorite part of the show. It's story time with Adam Cole, baby! Looking great in a suit, sitting down in his house. By the way, Adam Cole's Fit, sponsored by the Men's Warehouse, because when you go to the Men's Warehouse, you want to look good like Adam Cole. Well, some of you will probably never look like Adam Cole, baby, because you never look good with a suit on anyway. But I digress. But when you go to the Men's Warehouse, you pick out a nice suit, and maybe, just maybe, you might like the way you look. I can almost guarantee that. But when I go, they guarantee that. So. But it is what it is. And by the way, for people who's like, oh, you don't wear a suit. Why don't you wear a suit on video? Or something from the Men's Warehouse. I have before, so you just gotta look it up. I might do it again, maybe. I did in one of my shorts on this very channel, by the way. You gotta look it up before, it's around New Year's Eve. I was wearing a nice little shirt from the Men's Warehouse. So there you go. There's your proof. There's your receipt. That's it. We move on. Alright, so Adam Cole is pissed at Boylo losing last week to Samoa Joe for the AEW World title, and says, Wardlow, your job now is to keep gold in the Undisputed Kingdom, so don't fuck this up. Don't let Roddy lose the AEW Intercontinental title, or I'm Matt Taven and Michael Kanellis Bennett losing those Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. I'm thinking we're going to see him get Spanish Archered out, and possibly, guess who might come in? Kyle, or maybe, I don't know if they sign him again, Bobby fucking Fish, but we'll see. I think Kyle, yes, but I think Kyle might be going on a solo run. We'll see, even though what happened last week on Collision, where he won his return against Brian Keith, the bounty hunter, and then Roddy! And Matt Taven and Mike Bennett come out, and they're like, yay, Kyle! Give me a hug, Kyle! And Kyle's like, yeah, let's hug. Let's see what happens with that. And they're all friends from Ring of Honor, the old Ring of Honor days, the old Undisputed Era days. Well, Taven and Bennett were not in the Undisputed Era. They were kicking ass in Ring of Honor. After Cole left, and pretty much Cole, Roddy, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly came from Ring of Honor to WWE. So, and went into NXT. I think they had pretty much success. Had a great run in NXT. Not so much. I would say not so much Bobby Fish per se, but at least Red Dragon won the belts a couple of times. Roddy won the North American title. Cole, I think a 2 or 3 time NXT World Champion. And people say the Undisputed Era sucked in NXT. What were you watching? Were you watching tapes of Akira Tozawa, or were you hanging out and catering with Titus O'Neil? Marks. That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, so Wardlow, you better not fuck it up. Because Adam Cole is pissed. And when Adam Cole gets pissed, not fun. It's always fun on Twitch. But I digress. Playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That game is so freaking good, man. I gotta stop playing it. I'll probably be playing it this weekend when I get a chance. So I'm so busy because it's Palm Sunday weekend. So I'll try to get a little gameplay. Not gameplay per se. Little gaming in this weekend. You know, when I have some time, and we'll see what happens with that. Playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, probably the game of the year. Until maybe other games come out. But we'll see what happens with that. But Rebirth looks great. Long, but good. We're one game away, my friends, till God Mode Sephiroth. If you don't have knights around, you're fucked! Pretty much. If you're not at a great level and have all... Well, now if you have all the abilities, you have all the materia maxed out, and you have the ultimate weapons, it might be an easier fight than just going at God Mode Sephiroth with weak as fuck levels and not much materia and not much abilities. Well, good luck with that. And we move on. Alright, that's that. Alright, so go to break. After the break, Chris Jericho is walking in the back, walks up to Renee Young, who's like, hey, that was a tough loss out there, surprising win for Hook. So, Jericho says that he wanted to face Hook, who showed him a lot tonight. And he says, Hook is as much of a bad man as people say he is. Kind of says he could be world champion, maybe. So he says, next week, I have a proposition for Mr. Hook. Wonder what that could be. Is Jericho forming a new faction? I guess we'll have to see next week in Quebec City, Canada. I thought it was in Winnipeg, but it's not going to be in Winnipeg. Collision will be in London, Ontario next Saturday night. And pretty much that's it for the Canadian tour. Like I said, I thought they were going to Winnipeg. I guess they canceled it. I don't know. Because we're back in the States April the 3rd in Worcester, Massachusetts for Rampage and Dynamite right outside of Boston. So, should be a good show. And then going to Charleston, West Virginia. All the way to Dynasty, April the 21st in St. Louis, Missouri. And we got that. Alright, so I gave Jericho's promo about the proposition for Hook 3 out of 5 stars. Then we go to my favorite part of the show, well, besides Adam Cole, baby. We go to another guy I like, and that is Will Oceanspray. Reach for the sky! Osprey! Alright, so Will Oceanspray comes out. He says he was a little bit of a naughty boy the last time he was in Toronto. Because I think he was a heel. And now he's here for the betterment of AEW. So he apologizes for what he did to Kenny Omega. I remember that match. In Toronto. But in return for his elite wrestling he needs, some of that maple syrup. That good old Canadian maple syrup. Not that great, I'm just saying. But, so he wants that maple syrup, so go to the Waffle House. Are there Waffle Houses in Canada? I don't know. But if there is one, go with one. But I digress on that. It can have that. It can also have Canadian bacon, too. That's that. So, he says, as for Mr. Bryan Danielson, I hope you saw my match with Katsuyori Shibata on Collision, because that was fucking epic. Actually, it was Shibata and Danielson, I should say. So he's like, when I went over to Japan, where you wanted to be a big star, I saw your shoes, but they weren't big enough for me, bruv. And Shibata did face Mr. Oceanspray in Japan, by the way. So anyway, what Danielson did in Japan was great, but I have elevated wrestling here in the States. You're damn right he has. So he lists off some of his accomplishments in Japan: junior heavyweight champion, world champion, United States champion, never openweight champion. The list goes on and on and on. And now he's ready to prove he can walk in his shoes. So he says, I met Shibata before, and I lost. But now, I have cats, dogs, mortgage to pay, got kids, I got a hot wife, this and that. And he's like, next week, me and you, Shibata, let's do it, let's run it back from New Japan days. So we got that. So pretty much 10 seconds later, we get a graphic that the match was made. Good old Tony Khan, quick on my finger. There you go. Alright, so Shibata Ocean Spray 2 next week, and then that's not main event. I'm gonna be upset. That should be a main event match. But it's gonna be a banger. And Ocean Spray has put up some bangers this year. Revolution itself. What can I say? And Dynasty is gonna be another banger with Danielson and Ocean Spray. But I think it's gonna be really hard to pick match of the year for AEW, pretty much all federations, AEW, NXT, and Raw and SmackDown. So I think pretty much all the matches of the year are probably going to be real Ocean Spray matches. And I think he's going to win, if he stays healthy, hopefully. That'll be Tony Khan's worst nightmare. If he can stay healthy all year, I think he could be a repeat Wrestler of the Year. So, we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, I gave that promo from Mr. Ocean Spray 3.25 out of 5 stars. And that's it. Alright, then we got a hype video for the I Quit match with Edge and Christian Cage for the TNT title. And we get that. Alright, so it's around 9 o'clock or so. Get to the second hour. And we go to the ladies of AEW once again. And we have the beautiful Mariah May, once again dressed up as Toni Storm, teaming with the Marilyn Monroe lookalike herself, the AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm, darling! As they take on the virtuoso herself, Deonna Purrazzo, and her mystery partner, who was revealed on Collision, Thunder Rosa! Yay! Alright, match was okay. Duta at ringside. The butler, or whatever he is. They brawl to start. Mariah takes Deonna down. And then Toni Storm comes in. Thunder Rosa then comes in to strike away in the corner. And a sliding clothesline gets in their fall on Toni Storm. Duta with a distraction, which lets Toni Storm knock Thunder Rosa outside. As we go to a break, we come right back. Deonna strikes away at Mariah May, but can't get the Fujiwara armbar on. But instead, she boots Mariah in the face, and somehow gets the tag. Thunder Rosa tags herself in, and Deonna's like, "Bitch, you did it!" And anyway, Thunder Rosa comes in to plant Mariah May, but gets German suplexed by Toni Storm. She hits the sexy hip attack, doing the whole cringe thing. She tries to go for Storm Zero, and Thunder Rosa with a quick roll up on the champ. 1, 2, 3 in 7 minutes. Thunder Rosa pins the AEW World Champion, so you know what that means. Title shot. And it was okay. 7-minute match. But it is what it is. And I gave the match 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it. So we'll see what happens with that. It looks like Thunder Rosa might be Toni Storm's next opponent for her AEW World title. Possibly going to Dynasty. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, after that, we go to the match I wish was an email. And that is Swerve. Swerve takes on an open challenge. And who should come out but Buffalo's own, the Butcher of the Butcher and the Blade. I don't have a book. Wait, do I have a book? I might have something here. To knock me the fuck out, but alright, we'll use this for now. We use the old folder of doom. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the show where when something goes wrong in wrestling and it's really, really, really stupid, we pull out the Book of Doom, or we pull out the Notepad of Doom, we pull out something that hit ourselves in the head with, because it is really stupid booking. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the count of 3, please pick up your book, pick up something, and follow along. I know it might be funny, or it might be weird, but do it anyway, because you love it. But, ladies and gentlemen, on the count of 3, let's just bash our heads in. 1, 2, 3. Why? Why? Why did you pick a schmuck jobber like the Butcher? Could have picked anybody in the fucking locker room. God forbid it was like Aaron Solo or, Serpentico or even Angelico. I mean, Angelico I think would have been a good choice. Why didn't you pick Brian Keith? You picked the Butcher? And I thought you were a good booker there, Tony Khan. Anyway, this match was boring. Swerve wins with a Swerve Stomp. And then, usually he would win with that. But then, he, locked in a short arm scissors. And Butcher tapped like a drunk fuck. And that's pretty much it. Under 3.5 minute match. Did I say under 3.5 minutes? Yes. So we get that match. I pretty much gave that a dud because zero. I was like, this sucks. Why? The fans didn't even like it either, so. It is what it is, and I get that. After the match, Swerve grabs his chain and says that I keep thinking about using it to choke Samoa Joe out. And he's like, every week Joe can send security after him, but I'm going to keep beating them up until you give me what I want, Joe, and that's a one-on-one title match. So, on cue, Samoa Joe comes out, nice little suit as well from the Men's Warehouse, and says, contrary to what you may believe, I beat you at Revolution. Well, technically you pinned Adam Page. But anyway, Joe says, I've learned what to do with someone like you. And I'm going to give you exactly what you want. So Joe's about to go to the ring. We're going to have a big old fight with Swerve. But then the mood changes. And no, Taz didn't come out. He was sitting down on commentary. But the other guy, that's from Canada, from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada himself, that's Don Callis, of all people, interrupts. And basically says, take a shitter and Swerve Strickland have the same amount of wins. Yeah, but the AEW ranking system hasn't been updated in over a month, Tony Khan. Boy, did I have to bring that up on Twitter. Tony Khan, you bad, bad, bad boy. Anyway, so Don says Takeshita is undefeated outside of the Don Callis family, so maybe he needs to show Swerve whose house it really is. So Swerve's like, I'm in to face Takeshita next week on the program, and the winner of that will face Samoa Joe for the AEW World title, most likely at Dynasty. So, we'll see what happens with that. Takeshita did have a match on Rampage, which we'll get to in a second. But this match next week on the program, gonna be a banger. So we got 2 bangers on the show next week. Ocean Spray and Shibata, and Swerve and Takeshita. So, see what happens with that. And that's pretty much it. Alright, then we go to your main event of Dynamite for the TNT title in an I Quit match. We got, hey kids, it's Edge against Christian Cage, the TNT champion, coming up by himself without the patriarchy, Luchasaurus, Nick freaking Wayne, and his hot, sexy mom, Shayna Wayne. She's got it going on. So anyway, the object of the match, obviously, is to make your opponent say those 2 words, I quit. And that's it. This was barbaric. Barbaric match. Edge was busted wide open during the match. But it started off as they go in a crowd, and then Edge grabs some guy who had a Boston Bruins jersey on. Really? You go to a wrestling show in Toronto wearing a Boston Bruins jersey and you know the history with Boston and Toronto? So anyway, they're in the penalty box. The penalty box. Edge grabs a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, which the fans like, oh, you want my jersey? Takes it off. He puts it on, and they start having a hockey fight in the penalty box. It was great. The fans were going nuts. Obviously, Edge won, beat the fuck out of Christian. So, the fans went for a wrestling show, and they got a hockey fight. There you go. Now that's wrestling. The sport of professional wrestling. There you go. Oh, you would see WWE. Yeah, but WWE would be looking at it retarded. But anyway, so go to break after Christian's getting knocked around. They go into the concourse, and they went into the women's bathroom. We saw like 4 women go, ah! Screaming like a banshees out of the freaking bathroom. And the camera just stops like a little fucking pussy and waits for them to come out. Eventually, they do come out. Come on, cameraman. Really? Who told you to stay there? Was it Tony Khan? Oh, we can't go in the bathroom. Oh, but the WWE used to do a lot of that back in the Attitude Era. They went in the freaking women's bathroom and they're seeing women, almost half naked almost. It was crazy. Great, but crazy at the same time. But anyway, so they fight back to the ring. And, Edge bridges a ladder between the announcer's table and a barricade. Then he hits the Edge-O-Matic on the ladder. Ow! Christian in trouble, and get a little bit of a breather. Then the ladder is turned upside down inside the ring. Christian is dropped ribs first onto the ladder. Ooh! Oh, that has to hurt. Then it's table time, as Edge sets up a table against a barricade. Christian breaks up a spear attempt, I think, through said table, and then sends Edge into the ring post. Looked like he hit his shoulder first, but then we see him busted wide open. And, he staggers, and Christian hits a dive off the top to send him through the table. Go back in, Edge is catapulted into the ladder. Ow. But, Bryce asks him if he wants to quit. Edge says no. Then go for the grindhouse, gets broken up. They both try spears at the same time. They hit each other for a double down, and the fans are getting into it a little bit more. We go to break, come back. Christian gets launched off the stage, but then Nick Wayne's mom has got it going on. She comes out with a hockey stick, and, well, she could get 2 minutes for roughing, because basically she roughed up Edge's huevos, his balls, nut shot. And then Christian sticks away inside, and it's time for a barbed wire chair. Oh, we're going to get ultra-violent now. So it's about to hit the concerto with the barbed wire chair, but Edge moved just in time, and they tried a concerto on the barbed wire chair, but they couldn't get it. And Edge hits him with the hockey stick, then locks in the grindhouse with the broken hockey stick in Christian Cage's mouth, and we couldn't even get a nod quit from Christian because he had the hockey stick in his mouth. So Edge uses the drawstring from his tights to choke him out even more. And then the rest of the patriarchy come out, Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne. They come out for a beatdown, but then Daddy Magic, Matt Maynard, you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard? You can ask him on his podcast. And Daniel Garcia, the Dancing Fool, they come out for the save. Exit sets up a ladder, and then goes up top, not to the tippy top, but he dives onto the patriarchy. Then we have a lot of handcuffs, and they handcuffed Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne in the corner so they can't get involved. And then Shayna Wayne basically says, I'm out of here. She runs away all the way to the back. Although she was coming back out near the end of the match, but I guess not. Christian gets speared down, and then he gets handcuffed to the ring ring post. So basically, Christian's left for dead. And then Edge kicks him right in the balls. Bryce is like, do you quit? And Christian's like, no! So Edge's like, well, fuck you! Kicked him in the balls like 7 more times. And then Bryce is like, do you quit? No! I'm like, I think freaking Christian's balls were scrambled, basically. So then Edge's like, alright, that's it. Goes outside, pulls out Spike, Janice 3.0, pulls it out. Well, he takes it out of the case, holds it up, and you know it was coming, ladies and gentlemen. He rears back, whoop, boom, right into the balls. Ah! Oh, no children for you, Christian Cage. So he hits Christian with Spike in the balls. Oh, the visual still is haunting me. And then the video goes off for a second. I guess because Dynamite was ending at 10:05, so I went a little bit overtime for the end of Dynamite, and then the actual start of Rampage came on, and then the feed came back. Edge blows up a shot to the head with Spike, and as he's about to go in, Chris is like, I quit! So, in under 26 minutes, we have a new AEW TNT champion, and that man is Edge for the second time. I hope he holds on to it for a long time, but we shall see what happens with that. Alright, so then Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia celebrate with Edge. The confetti goes off. And I'm like, why is the confetti going off? We gotta clean up the ring for Rampage. I don't know. So we get all that. So the hometown boy, Mr. Adam Copeland, Threshold, Edge, whatever you want to call him, new TNT champion for a second time. And we'll see where he goes with the title and how long he might have it. Hopefully, well, gotta be longer than 5 seconds like he had, like when he won it at World's End in December. Won it, held it for 5 seconds because Luchasaurus had the title shot. Who he gave it to Christian Cage. Christian hits the kill switch. 1, 2, 3, wins the belt back that he just lost. And he won it in 5 fucking seconds. That's sad. But that's all I gotta say about that. And we move on. Alright, so that ends Dynamite. And I gave Dynamite 7.5 out of 10 stars. And that's pretty much it. Alright, we're gonna get to Rampage in just a second. Gotta load up my notes. Alright, here we go. Alright, so Rampage coming right after that. Which probably, I think it started like at 10, around 10, 15-ish. So, it was pretty good. Only 3 matches. But, it is, same commentary team, by the way. So, we start off with a promo from the Bullet Club Gold, by the way, too sweet for the love of God, of the Ass Boys, Colton and Austin Gunn, and the Switchblade, Jay White, the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions. They're at the pool, and I'm making fun of Darby, who's a skeleton, trying to climb Mount Everest. Blah, blah, blah. So they're talking about the Acclaimed and talking shit. And that's pretty much it. Then we see the freaking skeleton going down a slide into the water, into the pool. I thought that was funny. But it is what it is. Alright, so we start with that. Then we have the Acclaimed. So we have Max Caster and Anthony Bowen. They're there. No daddy ass. Billy Gunn, who can't travel after the beatdown last week. Caster says, "Yo! Listen!" So, we're about to listen to Max Caster. Caster says that Jay White is some light heavyweight fake tough guy. Damn. Who hides behind his ass boys. Then he says Jay White can go anywhere he wants on dime. But White is a stupid person. I didn't get that at all. It's like, how do I know White is a stupid man? Because he's messing with the best wrestler alive. Yeah, you're not the best wrestler alive there, Max Caster. Just saying. Or even, well, per se Darby, but whatever. Anyway, so Anthony Bowen says there's a bit more to that. And a Bang Bang Gang, no, they aren't elite enough. And then, like, freaking Bowens just went off on Jay White. He's like, maybe you should have listened to the idiot that said you should go to WWE and sign somewhere else because you lost all your opportunities. And then he's like, I want everybody to flip the camera off and the Bang Bang Gang. And the fans are the only gang they need because everyone loves the Acclaimed. And that's pretty much it. So, looks like the Bang Bang Gang and the Acclaimed. I don't know what's going to happen. What's going to happen with those belts. Hopefully not a unification match, because we don't need that. But we'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, so I'm going to paraphrase the next part of this video. Of course, I got to go to bed. So I got some important things to do in the morning. And that's that. Alright, match number 1 for the AEW Tag Team Title Tournament Wildcard match. This is an Anything Goes match, of course. So we have the best friends, give me a hug, of Trent and Orange Cassidy. They take on, because they qualified to get in the tournament, they take on the Don Callis family of Powerhouse, Will Hobbs, and the Ring of Honor TV champion, Kyle Fletcher, who had a really weird-looking haircut. So, back and forth they went, but in the end, we get a running insecurity in the corner, as it was Cassidy and Fletcher. Both guys go on top. Trent catches Fletcher, hits an avalanche half-and-half suplex. Ow. And then Orange Cassidy comes off the top rope with a really nasty-looking diving tornado DDT. Then he gets up, the crowd's going nuts. He's ready to load it up. He loads up the Orange Punch. And then Trent spears Hobbs to save the match. And actually Trent spears Hobbs on the floor. Orange Cassidy goes for cover. 1, 2, 3. The best friends get the win, and they move on in the tournament. So they're in the first round. So the tournament hasn't begun fully yet, but because they had the wildcard match on Collision, now you had a wildcard match on Dynamite, and then so basically next week begins the quarterfinals of the tournament. We got the Corporate Bucks against Private Party. That's gonna be epic because that's 5 years in the making. When Private Party beat the Bucks in the first round of the AEW Tag Tournament, when they were going to be the inaugural champs. So they knocked them out in the first round, but eventually they lost to SCU, who was the very first ever AEW Tag Team Champions. You know what number 2 was? Kenny and Adam Page. And after that was the Bucks. And then FTR, Bucks, all the other good stuff. And we move on with that. Alright, so match was alright. 3 out of 5 stars, and that's it. Alright, match number 2, Katsuyori Shibata. Taking on the man who owns WrestlePro, and that is Mr. Biff Tannen himself, Kevin Matthews. And basically, Shibata beat the shit out of him. And wins with a penalty kick, and it was good. Alright, so Katsuyori Shibata gets an easy win. And they give the match 2.5 out of 5 stars. Bing, bang, boom, good night. Alright, then we see Edge pounding down some champagne in the back with the boys after his title win. We see Action Andretti, Darius and Dante Martin of Top Flight, Trent Beretta, Matt Sydal, a couple other people. So he's having fun. So congratulations to Edge. And that's pretty much it. Alright, match number 3, we have Kensuke Takeshita taking on Rocky Romero Desi. Pretty decent match. Once again, Takeshita gets the win after a rolling elbow to a kneeling Rocky Romero. Then the spinning Falcon Arrow. 1, 2, 3. Takeshita gets the win, and now he has a date with Destiny with Swerve Strickland this Wednesday night on the program. And we'll see who faces Samoa Joe at Dynasty. And that's it. Alright, then we go to your main event of Rampage, a street fight pitting the TBS champion Julia Hart and Sky Blue as they take on Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, the Western Fun Girl, with Stokely Hathaway on commentary. This was barbaric. They used chairs, tacks. There's one point where Sky Blue put tacks in Statlander's mouth and hit a super kick. No blood, actually, which was surprisingly, like, last time Statlander and Willow were in a street fight, Willow was busted wide open, and, I think everybody was busted open. I think, Chris Statlander was even busted wide open, but not really any blood in this match, but we get that. So we get a whole bag of thumbtacks in the ring. Like 6 bags of thumbtacks. Both Sky Blue and Stat trade elbows on top of the tacks before heading to the top rope. Statlander wants a superplex onto the tacks, but Sky Blue slides down the back and super kicks Statlander, power bombs her on the tacks. Ow! Then puts some tacks in her mouth, and then super kicks the tacks out of her mouth. Ow! And then Sky Blue goes up top, but Willow meets her up there, sets her up on the apron, hits a Death Valley driver off the apron through 2 tables on the floor. That was crazy. Excuse me. Well, inside the ring, Julia sets up a pile of chairs, but then Chris Statlander back body drops her on her ass and the chairs. Then she goes up top looking for the 450, but Julia moved, and Statlander hit nothing but chairs, and then Julia locked in Heartless, and Statlander had no other choice but to tap out. And that's pretty much it. So Sky Blue and Julia Hart get the win. Match was brutal, and I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Nothing after that, so no aftermath. And that pretty much ends Rampage and Dynamite for tonight. So, 2 very good shows. I gave Dynamite 7.5 out of 10 stars. I gave Rampage a pretty solid 7 out of 10 stars. And don't know what the ratings are going to be for both shows, or it might be just a cumulative 1 hour thing, and God forbid AEW does 1 million, which will make all the AEW marks go crazy, but we'll see what happens by tomorrow or by Friday. And that's pretty much it with the AEW ratings. And pretty much the ratings for the whole week. Well, we got SmackDown on Friday. You know, Roman and Cody face off. That's going to be interesting to see. And it was announced that Rock and Roman will be on Raw on April Fool's Day, April the 1st, in the Barclays Center. And we'll see what happens with that. And we'll move on with that. So anyway, that is it for my video. So once again, 7.5 out of 10 stars for Dynamite. 7 out of 10 stars for Rampage. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to get out of here. I got to go to sleep because I got big things coming tomorrow. So I'm going to get a couple of hours sleep, and then I'm going to get up, and I gotta do something very important tomorrow. And that's pretty much it for that. So have a great rest of your night if you're on the West Coast. Enjoy your overnight. If you're on the East Coast, hope you're going to bed. If you're staying up for a late night snack and watching me or whatever you're doing. And that's pretty much it. But have a great rest of your night, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back tomorrow with my Raw review. I will be doing my Raw review tomorrow night. And I will also do my Ring of Honor review. So another 2 for your Thursday. And then Friday, we'll talk about TNA. I'll bring back the TNA review because I didn't do it last week. So this week, we'll definitely get a TNA review. And also, late Friday night, your SmackDown review. Both of those videos will be on the Killer of Demons channel. Well, actually, all 4 videos I do tomorrow and Friday will be on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. So please hit that bell, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the videos, and comment if you wish, and all that good shit. And then pretty much after Friday, we're pretty much taking a couple of days off for once. Well, unless something comes up Saturday and maybe Sunday, but we'll see what happens with that. But pretty much, I'm maybe taking the weekend off, Saturday and Sunday, not doing any videos, just chilling with the people I love, and that's pretty much it. Some friends on Saturday night, and then Sunday, Palm Sunday, we're gonna have do some stuff with the family for Palm Sunday. And then we're gonna end the month of March as we roll into the great month of April. We got Easter next Sunday, that glorious Easter day. We got all that. So we're gonna be pretty much 1 week away from WrestleMania. So, we got baseball starting next Wednesday in Korea with the Dodgers and the Padres. Should be interesting. The whole thing tonight with Ohtani. I thought Ohtani was betting on baseball, but he did it through his interpreter or something like that. It was just a crazy article that came out about Ohtani. So, I was thinking, did Ohtani got caught betting on baseball? Oh, that's not good. He's going to get banned from baseball just before he signed almost a $1 billion deal with the Dodgers. But it's just an interpreter. They fired his interpreter. I think he's going to be using Yamamoto's interpreter because he's Japanese too. So, sucks to be you, interpreter. But I don't think there's going to be any repercussions for Otani. If there are, that's going to be really fucked up. But I think he's going to be fine. He's not going to be... I don't think he's going to be charged or banned from baseball or anything like that. But... because really, he didn't do it himself. He did it through... His interpreter kind of did it through an illegal booker or something like that. That's not good. So, we'll move on with that. But Otani's fine for now. But his interpreter, you're out of here, dude. And that's it. Alright, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Peter Joseph signing off. Peace out, rock on, and rock hard with your cooch. And if you're not down with that, that's just too goddamn bad. Because the prophecy, the greatest thing since sliced bread, will still be here for years to come. And that's just too goddamn bad. Because if you don't like me, you don't like my band, well, me and everybody else, we all got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man! And that's it. Enjoy your Thursday, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!